Hello, you beautiful people. Anthurium Pop-Up back with you. Back with another educational video to help you grow your anthuriums even better, hopefully. Fingers crossed I'm helping. So guys, what are we doing this time? Why have you come to hang out this time? You already know. Water quality. What is the big thing to do with water? Why is water so important? Can't I just give them tap water? Can't I just give them any water? No. Especially with anthuriums. Anthuriums, other sensitive species, as in orchids as well, they require a much cleaner water because they come from an environment deep within a rainforest that gets some of the cleanest water you can find. So it's important that we replicate that. It's important that we come as close to clean slate water as possible, because they are going to react, and ultimately your water is going to accept nutrients. The cleaner, the more pure it is. So yes, water quality does make a huge difference. It is important that you stay true to that, and don't use that tap water. Try not to use that tap water. It's going to behoove you to not use it. So in this video, I'm going to not only cover water quality, but what I'm adding into my water. This is a greater overall video than just filtering some water or having some filtered water. This is a video that basically encompasses everything that I add to my water. This is making it as simple as possible. If you know me, if you've hung out for multiple lives, you know I like to simplify the process. I like to get the process as easy as possible, so that way you're not stressing about all these different parameters and all these different details and all these different variables. No. With my program, with how I try to grow my anthuriums, I try to eliminate all those and just have a set program with as little products as possible, except when it comes to pest control. If you haven't seen the pest control, definitely check out that video. You already know, keep it ever changing. But with our water, we're locked into one very simple program. So let's go over it. So the first thing we're gonna cover is RO versus tap water versus RODI. Should be really RODI tap water, but makes no difference. So tap water, we already know what comes directly out of the tap. As you may or may not know, our municipalities, most of them add a lot of extra stuff, extra bromides and extra chlorines and just stuff that really doesn't make our plants very happy. So it's important that if you're going to use your tap water, I would definitely check, and I would try to talk you out of it first of all, but check your water quality report is always a good thing to be aware of in your local area. There are many, not only does the local government do it, but there are also local agencies that do it as well. So check in, see how your water's doing. Most of the time, you're gonna find that there's too many additives. Even just a couple additives will not make your anthuriums very happy, will not make them thrive, will not give them the access to the nutrients, will not allow the myco that we're adding into the soil to thrive. So these are all things, all benefits of using filtered water, RO water versus a tap water. So that's why I'm gonna tell you first, don't use tap water. Tap water usually just has too many things in it. So what's the next step? RO water. What does RO stand for? Reverse osmosis. This is a very simple unit. I'll pop one up here. I would put it in front of you, like my own, but it's huge. It's kind of a bigger unit. I have an RODI, so it's a bit bigger. But RO unit, as you can see, it's really just 2 canisters. Very easy to deal with. It's not something it takes a rocket scientist to figure out. And you put the filters in the canister. I have mine hooked up to an outside deep sink. You can hook it up to one as well. You can hook up to an outside water hose. You can do the ones that hook up to your kitchen sink. They are not completely necessary. You're gonna notice there's a big cost difference between the one I'm suggesting on my Amazon links and if you were to go hunt down the fancy schmancy hook up to your kitchen sink. Those have two different goals in mind. One is purely drinking water, and the other is RO, where you're getting your reverse osmosis water, and you're getting a what they call a wastewater. I don't call it wastewater because that water can be used. What I do is I take that water and I put it into an outside rain bucket, or I put it into an outside storage water area that I use to water my garden. Because philodendrons, all other outside Florida babies, they love that water. They don't mind that water. They thrive on that water. It's our anthuriums, our orchids that hate that water. So that is why I use that to prevent any kind of waste, because that is something that people like to bring up with RO is, oh man, you're wasting water with that wastewater runoff. Well, if you put that water to use, you're good to go. You can wash with that water. You can water your garden, as I said, with that water. It is still valuable water. It's just slightly more concentrated in the stuff you're trying to rip out of that water. So that is why I say it's still usable, but just use it as you will. I wouldn't drink it or anything like that, because like I said, it's going to be more concentrated amounts depending on your municipality. Some people may be able to drink their runoff. Again, look into your levels of everything within your municipality and you'll know for sure. As I said, I use RODI, so it creates, it's 2 extra barriers to pull out even more. So that is really used for saltwater fish, saltwater tank scenarios where you really have to make sure to wipe that slate clean, so that way the water accepts the salt much easier. Is that necessary for anthuriums? No, you'll find the one that I suggest is an RO unit, but I like to differentiate. You're gonna be looking at all these. Maybe you don't buy the one that I suggest. Maybe you go on your own hunt. I love it. Go on your own hunt, but you're gonna see RO, RODI. Just know that DI, not necessary for you and your anthurium growing journey. So the unit that I suggest makes about 100 gallons per day. There is a variance in that. You're gonna pay more for making more water per day. It's gonna depend on your actual collection. So if you need to make a lot of water quickly, maybe you upgrade. But if you are okay with making that much water in a day, usually it's more than enough for most people, that unit's gonna be great for you. Filter replacement typically is going to be every 8 to 12 months, depending on usage, again, depending on how big your collection is, but it is pretty spread out. What I would suggest is keeping a TDI meter. This is a total dissolved solids, or total dissolved, I can't remember what the I stands for, but total dissolved items, or total dissolved solids in there is what I usually say. Check the meter in there, make sure your total dissolved solids don't go over, I'd say 150 to 200 on that meter. If you're going over that, then you know that your filters are going out and you need to replace them. It's your best indicator. Of course, keep a pH meter on hand. Check your pH going in, check your pH after you add nutrients, check your pH coming out of the pot, just so you know everything across the board. Typically after that one check, I will check my pH only about every 3 months, just to make sure nothing wonky's going on with my municipality, make sure there's nothing crazy going on, make sure I'm not spiking or anything like that. Typically, it's very consistent. That is just for my peace of mind, to make sure all my parameters are on check. It's important to check these things to make sure that you are good to go. So why not just use a Brita filter? Why not just use gallons of water? Why not use other companies' filters? Well, you're gonna do math, I know. Pesky math, cost benefit analysis. Over a period of time, you're going to find that you're going to make so much more water at a much lower cost using an RO unit as opposed to your insert name filter here. Some of you are gonna say, distillers, what about distillers? Yes, distillers work as well, but the speed at which they make water is so slow. Great for making drinking water, not great for making watering garden situations. Now, if you have a big distiller, you've already invested into it, by all means. That is another kind of downside of distillers, is they are quite expensive compared to an RO unit. So these are all things that keep in mind. For my RO unit, what I do is I fill up several 5-gallon jugs, and then I call it a day. I fill them up and I keep them on hand, and then I go through those as I'm doing my waterings. It takes about 40 minutes to fill up one of those 40-gallon jugs. Mind you, my unit is a bit bigger, RODI, so my flow rate is a bit faster. As I said, with that one, it's 100 gallons per day. So 100 gallons per, I believe it's a 12-hour period. So that's pretty good. Still a great flow rate, still going to make more than enough to facilitate a larger garden. So yeah, Yeah, there you go. That covers the RO side, the filtered side, why I do it, cost benefit analysis, why I do it for such a large collection. It just makes sense. So that's why I suggest it. I believe the unit's only $80. I believe you can maybe even find cheaper ones. That's just the best bang for buck that I found. Do your hunting, do your due diligence. Anything that you see on my Amazon links are just suggestions. By no means do you need to purchase them from those links. Yes, I get a tiny little kickback, but that's not what the motivation is. It is getting everything in one spot so you can get your collection right. You can get everything in order, so that way there's no question, no, oh man, am I doing it right? Cool, awesome. Now we're going to talk about what else do I put in the water. It's not just ripping everything out. It's now going into how do we feed the babies? What additionally am I putting into that water, period? So the first thing I am putting in is one of my favorite fertilizers to date. This is Tezula MSU fertilizer. Now, MSU stands for Michigan State University. They were the originators of this under the name Green Care Granulated Blend. Tezula repackaged, got into smaller packages, so it's more accessible to the community, which I love. Why do I love this particular nutrient so much? Because it has adequate and the highest level of CalMag on the market. So crucial for Anthurium growth, so crucial for getting very dark Anthuriums, so very crucial. So how do I use it? How am I adding it to my water? How do I do it? So when I go to water, I add it just for that watering cycle. I don't pre-mix a bunch. Just for that watering cycle, I add 1/4 strength. So what it's suggested on here, I add at 1/4 strength and then feed from there. And that is for 3 leaves and above. And that goes for every single plant in my collection. That goes for philodendrons, monstera, alocasia, you name it. They are getting this formula at 1/4 strength, 3 leaves and above. 3 leaves and below, I am feeding at 1/8 strength. So that is from germinated seed all the way up to 3 leaves. I am feeding Tezula MSU fertilizer at 1/8 strength. Yes, I am feeding seedlings feeding seedlings at a very low concentration. I find that they really like that. I find that they do benefit from that. So that is literally all I feed. I don't add any additionals. I don't add anything else, because I found that that is simply all I need. I don't need to add any additionals because recently I found a mycorrhiza that really encompasses everything else that I need. So you have a lot of people that want to add other things like you'll have additional silica. After long-term testing with Anthuriums, I've really found that silica wasn't really benefiting me for the cost of it. If you want good silica that's going to be accessible to the plant, it's going to be really fancy, organic, bioavailable silica, and it's very expensive. For just a regular collection, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I didn't see the benefit in growth. I did a 80. It ended up being about a 4-month to 5-month long-term test from germinated seed to caterpillar seedling. No difference. No difference in root growth, no difference in leaf thickness, no difference in pest defense. It was all the same across the board. So I didn't see the difference in that. And I tested multiple plants, multiple species of Anthurium, multiple types of Anthuriums, just to make sure my hypothesis was doing correctly. By no means is me saying that is me talking you out of using that product. Just simply my testing, what I do. What you'll find is many of these videos are just simply opening the door to how I grow my Anthuriums and how I get them to be. All mine hold big, beautiful leaves. They're very dark. I'm very proud of how I grow them. Check me out on Instagram as well. You can see more. Additionally, I don't hide ugly leaves as well. Yes, I still do get crunchy lower leaves because I am an ambient grower. So naturally, you're gonna get some issues with crunchy leaves here and there. Is it a bad thing? No. Does it make you a bad grower? No. Is that plant still beautiful? Yes. As long as that upper leaf, that new leaf, is not all crunchy and crazy, we are good to go. Lower leaves are going to be eaten in an ambient environment. Google anthuriums in their natural environment and you're going to be shocked on how really beat up they can be, because the rainforest is quite mean to them. So that being said, what else do I add? What else do we add to our water Anthurium papa? Well, aside from Tazula MSU fertilizer, once a month I will add Bigfoot Mycorrhizae. I recently switched from another Mycorrhizae brand into this one. I have found, it was actually now 2 months ago, long-term testing, about 2 months. I know, not super long, but long enough to see results immediately. Darker leaves, quicker root growth. I love this one. Why do I love this one? Especially because it contains biochar, kelp, worm castings, humic acid, on top of the amazing mycorrhiza and beneficial bacteria. You can't go wrong. It's a great product. It's made in America by great people, people that you can call, get on the phone immediately. It's awesome. Customer service is amazing. The people who run the business is amazing. You can't go wrong. So support American businesses, especially when they kick ass like this. So that's literally the only 2 things I'm putting in my soil regularly. Every watering cycle, once a month. 1/4 strength per recommended on the back of the label. Simple as that. Not complicated. Keep it simple. 2 products. You call it a day. You walk home. You're done. You're good. Nothing fancy. Cool? Easy. By all means, if you guys have any questions on how I use any of it, but I try to make it as easy as possible. Try to make it as straightforward as possible. We don't need 12 products to grow beautiful anthuriums. We don't need a crazy, complicated routine that we need to keep a whole pamphlet and stay true to it. No, we don't need to do that. We can keep a very easy routine and make sure that it stays tried and true. Now, the one addition that I wanted to say, that there's only one thing that I will add, and it's in relation to my last root rot video. So if I have a batch of soil that I have used already, and I want to make sure that there's, no pathogens in it, nothing bad in it, I will go ahead and get that on a nice wide open tray, spread it out, and then I'll give it a nice mist down with a 1-2 drop dilution of the Physand 20 in about a ½ gallon mix. So I'll just mist it on down, give it a mix around, mist it on down, give it a mix around, and make sure that there's a pretty good saturation to make sure that all the microbes are gone. That's just to give another layer of protection. I don't find that it's always needed. I like to do it just in case there's a root rot situation. I'm gonna reuse that soil. I'll treat it real quick and then add it to my reused soil batch, because I still do reuse my soil. If you guys didn't watch my soil video, check it out. You guys should already know, if you checked it out, that tree fern is so reusable. It doesn't break down at a very quick speed at all. If we buy the fancy Orchiata bark, well, we know that it is a very fancy bark for a reason, because it doesn't break down. And perlite, we already know perlite doesn't break down. It stays there, stays in place. So that is why I use my mix. It's so reusable. So we treat it with the Physam, and we can throw it right back in with the community bucket of tree fern fiber mix. So guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope this kind of shed light onto why we need clean, beautiful water for our anthuriums, because we want to replicate that natural environment as much as possible. We are trying to replicate the natural environment of anthuriums. Now, is it always going to be possible? No. But with my soil mix, my watering routine, my additives, it makes it a little bit easier, because that is my goal, as I've said many times, is to get these beautiful anthuriums that you see behind me into ambient, into your eye, that you can see growing and still thrive and still kick ass and still take names. That is my goal. That is my goal for you. So I hope that you hang out, that you enjoy more videos to come, and that you find some good material in these. So guys, definitely be on the lookout for this next video. I imagine it is going to be within the next week that this next video is going to drop, because it's going to promote a cause that I'm very, very passionate about. One that I have been talking about for so long, one that I've been working on for so long, and one that I'm thoroughly excited about. It is a push for change. It is a push for education. It is a seed release. Oh, ears perked up, right? So yes, next video, be on the lookout. An awesome cause that I will be announcing that you can actually be a part of with a beautiful baby to take home. Baby Anthurium, of course. So be on the lookout for the next video. Check out my Instagram, of course. That's where all my links are gonna be. I'll put my link to my link tree down below, so that way you have direct access for all my non-Instagram people. But of course, follow me on Instagram. You're gonna see all my updates. You're gonna see all my beautiful pictures first. You're gonna see all the goofiness, all the wiggles, all that fun stuff. If you really wanna see live wiggles, check me out on Palm Street. I will be there selling babies live. Yes, Palm Street is a live selling app, awesome selling app, low pressure situation in my selling app. I do not sit there and pressure you. I do not, oh no, you didn't buy it. No, that is not how we roll with Anthurium Pop-Up. We educate first, we wiggle second, we jiggle third, and we sell plants fourth. See? We don't, it's all the way down. It's all the way down here. But I do have beautiful plans for you. So if you want to join, or if you simply just want to learn, we are dropping education the whole time. We are paying attention to the chat. We are answering questions. It is so important to me that new people to Anthuriums, that potentially new people that tried Queen first and thought maybe, oh no, the Anthuriums just aren't for me after losing it. Well, Anthuriums are for you. Just don't start out with the Queen. That's my biggest suggestion. Check me out. Check me out, guys. AnthuriumPapa.com on the World Wide Web. You can pick yourself up an awesome t-shirt such as this with the Anthurium Papa logo and the old man logo on the back. Yes, it is a two-sided tie-dye t-shirt for an awesome price. Support your boy. You can also get stickers. You can also get pots. You can get all the goodies. All the goodies. So I'm everywhere. Anthurium Papa everywhere. Type me up and I'll be there. Cool. Love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the awesome comments. Get in those comments again. Let me know what you want to see next. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know what changes you want to see. Well, let me see what new topics you want to see in the future. There was a big vote. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you didn't see the vote. But there was a big vote recently on if we should keep the jams in the back, if we should keep the lo-fi beats in the back, and it was unanimous. We are keeping them, but we're gonna lower the volume just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. But we got to keep the jams in the back. For my ADHD kids, it helps keep us locked in. Oh, what? Okay, we got jams still. I'm still locked in. I know. But I'm gonna lower it just a little bit so that way everybody can feel welcome. Nobody can feel left out. I know sometimes with the early videos that music was just a little higher. Trust and believe I will pay attention to that even more in the next videos to make sure you can hear me even better. So yeah. If you guys have any questions, concerns, reach out. I got you. Instagram is going to be your best place to get a hold of me for Anthurium questions. If you want to buy babies, Palm Street, Anthurium Papa, everywhere. Cool. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you got some good info. Reach out if you need anything. Cool. Most importantly, keep growing forward. Cool. Bye, guys.